Good morning and welcome to Gulfstream today. Brian Nadeau and Samantha Perry with you. A little bit of an overcast Saturday here, and very happy that we're on the turf, though. If you were down here and some rain in Fort Lauderdale, but down here it looks like we're good, so a good job by everybody. We're on a good turf course today. Main track is going to start out fast, so that's always good because there was definitely, you heard the updates and things like that. The rain was in the area, so.
Yeah, it was. We'll just keep our fingers crossed and ride it out for as long as we can.
I was very pleasantly surprised to see that, so everything kind of held together. The Rainbow Six, we've got an 11 race card for you today. The Rainbow Six kicking off in race number 6. We are already at $125,000, so take note of that a little bit later on. And the carryover is already $50,000. Ronnie's got a ticket. He'll be out here with me for the opener as well. But we got that early pick 5 kicking off in about 52 minutes too. And we'll take a quick look at my ticket now. I lost both, actually. Samantha and I lost our top pick in the first race, so that's kind of a bummer. So I whittled it down to 2 horses here in race number 2. My top pick is the 3, Athena's Wisdom. In race number 4, 2 deep there. It is 4-7 is the order. Urge to Merge there. In race number 4, that's the spread, and it's my long shot, Mikasa, the 5 horse. And then in race number 5, I've got the single, and that is race 8, 4-way stop for Safi. I just think we're in a good spot there with a good turf race showing last time. $24 early pick 5 ticket. We are on the turf in the opener. It's a good turf course. Rails are out at 66 feet. These are $16,000 2Ls, 3-year-olds and up. And as I mentioned, got the scratch of the 9 Old Flag. We're going to have a replay. Horse that had some trouble last time, unfortunately, is out. So we both lose our top pick, and we both scratch into the same horse, and that is Battle of Dover for Steve Badu, who's had a very, very quietly very strong Royal Palm meet.
I could not agree more. And this horse, the race that he's coming out of on the grass last out was a really good effort. It was across a good turf course as well. The rails being at 66 feet, you've got to be up front or close to it. It can be really in a tough spot, and especially these outside posts. So just pay attention to that today. Battle of Dover, he's got a little bit of speed, I feel like, to keep him in the mix.
The other change in this race is a 3 with Immense Faith. Blinkers going on a horse you have in second. That should be a pretty square price.
This is the one I wondered if would be the speed, especially when you pull the blinkers off. When they're able to see a bit more, it really can just change them. And I'm hoping that that's going to be the game plan here.
I didn't want to pick Mudalik facing winners at a real short price. It's Safi and Clay Sides. They've teamed up for a win yesterday. I mean, the race goes through him, but he doesn't have to win.
No, he doesn't. He just is one of those. He's always right there, but he won last time, but I felt like that was just his race to win. I will say, Promotion yesterday?
He won the opener, right?
Yep.
I wonder if he's got a little Barry the Builder in him. He finally breaks through. Maybe he comes back and doubles up. If he does it, he's going to do it at a very short price without the 2 of us, although I think he's a must-use if you're playing a serious early pick 5 ticket. We'll go to race number 2. That's the early pick 4. I'll tweet that out. We're 6 furlongs on a fast main track. It's an optional claimer here for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up, and you are you're on Crimson on the comeback here for Heather Smullen. Boy, Crimson's been away for a long time.
This is my long shot today. 8-1. I wouldn't take anything less. This is a horse that, like you said, hasn't been seen in a long time, but I like the work that Heather Smullen's done. As far as fitness goes, you see the gate breeze works back. That's a good indication. And she's a 4-year-old, and she's facing a couple of 3-year-olds. I feel like maybe the one to beat, and we'll talk about her, is the 3-year-olds. I feel like it gives her a little advantage.
No, I don't disagree with any of that. I wonder how fast she is, meaning, figure-wise, she's slow, but she's got a lot of maturity since we last saw her as a 3-year-old filly with Brittany Russell and Todd Pletcher, and Heather has done a good job down here with kind of a limited sample, just kind of getting to know this barn a little bit. I didn't want to pick Vincy Girl, and we'll talk about her in a second. I'm on Athena's Wisdom. I know she's got the big figure at Tampa, and maybe we're, tough to trust. We're coming across the state into the big leagues here, but everything Gerald Bennett has run has been pretty darn live.
Yeah, that's the truth. And this horse has a nice little sit and stalk type of run, and she likes to win, which is a good sign.
No, I agree with that totally. She's 5 for 13, and we got a lot of 1-fers in here, including the favorite, at least the morning line favorite, is the 5 Vincy Girl. Let's take a look at her last time. 80 cents on the dollar. It was a fast race for the level. I'll give her that. It just did nothing for me, Samantha, to be perfectly honest with you.
I don't blame you. And we've talked about her a lot because it took her 5 tries to
Right.
finally get this done here. But we talk about her on the sheets, and she was always the fastest in the race,
Yeah.
but she just wasn't winning. And it's hard to keep playing a horse like that. And she, like you said, she could win without us today. She broke through. She switched leads nicely. She ran on nicely. I felt like, sometimes you see these races when these horses come up on your outside like that, it kind of pushes them even.
Yeah.
It gets a bit more gameness out of them. I don't know. It's hard to come back to her here.
I picked Magical Song that day. That was Heather Smullen, I believe, in Whisper Hill.
Yeah, that was a nice horse.
She's no great shakes. No, so I'm just against Vincy Girl today.
Yeah.
She's going to be a short price. Now, with all that being said, this is not the saltiest group that we're going to run at this level either. Race number 3, 5.5 on the Tapeta today, and maiden 12-5 claimers 3 and up. It's the first Tapeta race, and we've talked about this time and time again. We did get some rain. It was not a lot of it, and it's been very, very hot, so you got to pay attention.
Right.
How the Tapeta's going to play today. You are on the 3 Insolent, which is going to be a nice price. This is an interesting, dangerous horse because they bet this horse on debut and kind of sort of went wrong right off the bat.
Completely, and after that it was just like get him in, like just kind of just let him run in. I don't know if he's got any talent, but
Right.
you've kind of helped me with this barn. I mean, this is a crafty barn here who hasn't started a lot of horses, but 7 wins from 30 starts. That's impressive. You mentioned it. They bet this horse. This is one that I feel like the second time is going to be a lot sharper.
So this horse is 5-1 in an 11-horse field on debut. That's a lot of tote action.
Yeah.
Now, beat 1 horse home, but did break dead last from 11. So we'll see. If the money comes back today, you might want to take a second look here. I'm on Urge to Merge for Jerry O. This is the softest spot by far that he's ever been. Dropping to the floor here.
Yeah, and the blinkers go back on. So that's kind of interesting as well, because all throughout his career he had him on, then they peeled him off last time. Was it the maiden special weight ranks? Was it the turf? Or was it a mixture of everything? The blinkers off? I'm not sure, but they go back on today. I trust Jerry O. And if Leno Reyes, I'm speculating, he could have said, hey, let's put him back on here. So we'll see.
Now, I don't know if he'll be favored, but Co-Star's the horse to beat off that debut. Really sharp effort for Joe Orsino.
It really was. And this is not a barn that will crank them up first time out by any means. So the fact that at 15-1 ran like that was impressive.
The winner was a steam horse for the Ochoa barn that ran to the money as well. It was kind of tough to come up with, but it was a fast race. We're going to show you Mr. Rhodium. I'm sorry, you can't play this horse today. This was his comeback now. You want to tell me it was off the 11-month layoff? That's fine, but he's 13-10. He's 6-5 in this spot, and this is what you got.
This is, I think I fell into his trap last time. They're plunging him down. He's never been in for a tag like this before. You could give him some excuses. He obviously was very wide and had a ton of ground loss, but still, how much, you don't want to take a short price on him.
No, he could have been 4th without the ground loss there. I don't want anything to do with him. Hey, Edgard sticks around. That's a big positive. Sign. They're going to bet him. He's favored on your morning line, but you saw that race. That was his spot right there.
Yeah.
And I cannot come back to him. He's had too many chances for me. Race number 4. We're back on the Tapeta. Same distance at 5.5 here. Fillies and mares 3 and up. The tag is $10,000. Trevesse we saw yesterday. She's out. Going to take a lot of steam out of this race. Your prices are all going down, including my long shot Mikasa, who we'll talk about in a second. But you're trying to get the hat trick for Hair to the Roar, who's been so good of late.
Very, very good. And I like what the connections have done here. They gave her a little bit of time after that May win last time. It was a narrow victory, but hey, it was still a good one. A productive race. A 3rd place finisher, Magic Moonstar, came back to win again, so that's a good sign. I just like the way that she's been managed up to this point.
Yeah, and we watched that race right here on the set, and I had her that day, and I thought, no way she won that. It was a very, very good effort, rallying widest of all at 5. She's going to like the extra half furlong today. So now we got Mikasa, we got Dove in Charge, and we got Barbara all back here. Let's show you the gang here. Mikasa ran very, very well in this June 22nd race. She's the 3 horse, and she's got run here, and she's got absolutely no spot to go. It's no fault of Sonny Leone. He's just waiting and waiting and waiting for the seam, and you can tell he can't quite get out here, and she's loaded, and then she never gets off the fence, which is, I didn't necessarily have this as a terrible rail day, but I didn't think it's ever a good spot either. And this is kind of what we talk about with the rail. You can kind of see her stuck in neutral here.
Yep, exactly.
It's going nowhere.
And it doesn't help that you've got the winner on your outside that is slowly closing the gap there. So that's hard for horses to want to run up through too. So she just stays spinning the wheels there.
Steve Glaceris is going to take over today. He's got a nice work into this horse.
Yeah.
The price should be okay. She was 32, 22, 36, and 27 in her last 4 starts. The problem is with Traverse coming out, you lose a lot of value wherever you go. She's a raging Cajun. I moved up into 4th. She has run well, and with the exception of 2 starts back, she's run very well.
Yeah, she really has. I think this is a good spot for her as well, as opposed to the race they had originally entered her in yesterday. So she hits the board. If nothing else, she's consistent. So underneath, supers.
On the turf in race number 5, it kicks off the Tropical Turf Pick 3 as well. Rails, no rails here? We're good.
Oh, yeah, we're on the inner.
Yeah, how about that? I like that. That's great to see. 7.5 furlongs, very tricky distance here. $25,000 2L, 3-year-old fillies are 4 and up, which have never won 2 races. Jock switch on the 6, Pure Magic Girl. Skylar Spanimo is going to be off her mounts for a little bit. We wish her a very speedy recovery. And now let's take a look at that TT Pick 3.
Yeah, it's a 15% takeout, $3 minimum wager. Just one of the best turf bets in the country here, lowest takeout. 2 deep here, and we'll get into it. Race 8 I felt was very tricky. I do have the 5 Candy Gray on top, and in race number 11, the finale, it's not easy. I love Grand Mo the First, especially if we get rain.
Oh, yeah.
This horse, if it moves to the Tapeta, 2 for 2 on the Tapeta, and we'll get to that. Excited to see this horse come back.
Yeah, I think he's a pretty serious horse.
I think
am
so
excited,
too. Yeah.
and I think he's a turf horse as well.
Good looking too.
Yeah, Victor took him out to Del Mar with designs on running in the Breeders' Cup. Juvenile turf didn't quite happen, but he ran very well on the grass out there. We'll talk about him in a second. Let's get back now to race number 5. Full field of 9 here. It's a competitive race to be sure, and you are on the 7. Gossiper, right back off the claim for Oscar Gonzalez, who's pulling all the right strings. We are facing winners today.
We are, and that's tough, but I think it was a good breakthrough last time for sure. A perfect setup that time as well. And, you talk about the Barry the Builder angle where you win one and you're eligible to bring it right back. I like this barn, too. I think that they've done good work. Oh,
there's no doubt about that. I'm on 4-way stop. I just feel like it's her time here. She ran so well last time, buzzing on the lead. I hope she's not going to go 46-3 on a good turf course today, because that is going to be a little problem.
It is, especially, if the rails were at the 66 feet setting for this race, it would be a whole different ball game, because she could certainly wire the field in that situation. But it might be a little bit tougher for her today. Hey, this is a relatively easy field for her, though.
Yeah. What's going on with Rotundo trying turf today for the first time?
It's not even the trying the turf for the first. Well, that yes, but also getting 2 turns for the second time. I feel like that's a big play here. Is just getting some extra room for the second time around.
She didn't run that poorly last time, trying it off. A little bit of a freshening too. She's going to run against older for the first time. That could trip her up, but there's not many. There's only a couple older, 3 of them to be exact. Old. There's a lot of 3-year-olds in here, so that probably won't hurt her all that much. And then certainly Safi's got the 4 House of Melody too, but I'm with the stablemate much more than I'm with her. All right, 5 down, 6 to go. Let's take a short break here on Gulfstream today. When we come back, it's Rainbow 6 time. Ronnie's got that ticket, $125 in the estimated jackpot. Stay tuned.
And they're off.
Win big with new DRF All Access Past Performances. With one best-in-class product, you now get all 3 past performance formats. Easily switch between views. Access the most trusted information in horse racing with DRF All Access Past Performances. Go to drf.com and use coupon code 1FREEPP for a free single card today.
Welcome back to Gulfstream today. Brian and Samantha with the 11 race card here. Fast main track, good turf course to PETA as well. And the Rainbow Six in race number 6 is going to kick things off. $125,000 in your estimated jackpot. Ronnie's going to be out here for the opener, and we'll take a look at his ticket now. Should be a pretty good big pool today. And there we go, 43.20.
It's a good ticket, and he's got a single in race number 8, which is the Miss Gracie with the 8 Lady Cha-Cha.
Wow.
That is an impressive single. And then you see in his other feature, race 11, the Bears Den. He is using Grand Mo the first, but he's also using Prevent and Salvatore Prince. And what I like about Ron when he plays these Rainbow Six tickets is he gives you an opportunity he uses the favorite. Of course, Grand Mo the first is going to be tough, but if you're alive to possibly those other 2 runners, that's a single ticket situation.
Yeah, especially if Lady Cha-Cha gets home. She was his long shot, I think, on April 18th when she popped. She's won 2 in a row on the turf. She's going to get the acid test today, stepping up, but she's in very, very good form for Laura Cesaro. So let's get back now to kick things off here in race number 6. We'll go 6.5 furlongs on the fast main track. 3-year-old fillies are fillies and mares 4 and up that have never won 2. They're all 3-year-old fillies. I do want to mention that. Scratch the 2 Jayana, scratch the 3 Classic Ballad, and it is the outside for Look Like It. A little moisture in this racetrack to my right won't hurt her any today.
I was going to say, I was looking at the time of this at 3:34.
Right.
If for some reason we do get any rain, this horse, I put if slop, yes, this horse moves up a ton here. Blew the doors off a 12-5 field in the slop here, just splashed home.
Yeah, it was the bottom. It was in the slop. I don't trust it at all, but listen, that was also her first start on dirt, her first start at 1 turn. It's Safi.
Yeah.
It's Drayden Van Dyke, who's done a very good job here since he's come over from California, and this is a good post position for this horse. And this is a good group to face winners for the first time.
Oh my gosh! So you just talked yourself into the horse right there.
Right? I mean, I got her. I'm gonna go with Sonadora Girl just because she's gonna be a better price, and I liked her win last time. And if nothing else, it was on a fast main track.
Hey, when you beat West Bank.
Oh boy, you're doing some good things.
No, I don't want to take it away from her. The light bulb did come on, and look at that. It was her first dirt start since her debut. It just really changed her.
You know, Misprint is the one. Let's take a look at this stat now. I haven't seen it. Ronnie was stat boy, and he pulled it up. I'm interested in looking at it, too. Look at this. Wow, Tapeta to dirt for DeBona past 5 years. So this is now doubly interesting because Misprint was entered on the Tapeta yesterday, and a very sharp barn says, nope, we want to run on the main track.
This barn that is winning at 38% right now. It's very impressive. This filly has been nothing short of beautiful in the last 2 starts.
Yeah, I was against her last time, and I got to give her credit. We had the replay yesterday. We're not going to run it today because we got plenty to show you, but she got herself out of a tricky situation down inside and came around off the far turn, and she's formerly winning races on the front end. It was a good effort,
especially on the Tapeta to do that.
Yeah, I don't necessarily know what to make of her today, but in this barn we trust, and you better darn well I think use her if you're playing a serious rainbow. Late 5 kicks off in race number 7 on a fast main track. These are state breds here, 2-year-olds going at it. 6 furlongs. Oleg's is going to scratch the 1, and the 10 Win with Faith is out as well. Take a look at Samantha's late pick 5 ticket now.
It's not an easy sequence. You see my spread race is really race 8 for me. Race number 9, I do have the 7 on top. That is Don't Answer. I promise this is my last time with this horse. Race 10, I do have the 9 on top. That is Jaeger. And in race number 11, the 4 Grand Mo, the first on top. For me, it's a $24 play.
Jaeger with the 10-pound apprentice Derby Glass riding in her first mount, so we'll talk about that in a little bit. So Arundel scratches the 1 Oleg. They're going to leave Lou in, and I guess who you got on top?
Lou.
Okay, so let's show the replay here. Lou had no chance last time. We're going to show you why. There was a lot going on in this race. Lou was kind of back where he he shouldn't have been back there anyway,
No.
but this is what happened here now, and he's going to check back out of it, and you just, you see the two going awry there and then lose down inside. To his credit, he can't even really come through here for a little bit. To his credit, he did run very, very well behind a horse that was 6-5. That the 3 is going to win this race.
Yeah, it was a big effort, especially because of the trouble that he had right as we started that replay, because he just lost some ground, and he already was in a spot where his momentum was going forward, and then it was just like not a good situation. I felt like if we do have rain during this time of the day, I think he handled the slop okay.
Yeah, no, it's a feather in his cap. 3 starts, 3 seconds. I don't like that.
Yeah.
2 of them, he's had trouble. He's got to get his act together a little bit, but he's a big threat in here. The problem is the best horse possibly in the race is very likely to be in front of him. Let's show Karambasso.
Yeah.
We're going to show you Oleg too, because we had the entirety of this replay. But Karambasso ran very, very well last time. Oleg's down inside. This is where he shies from the rail. We're going to he's scratched, but we're going to leave this here because Karambasso's doing the dirty work on the front end. He's going to try to bottom out this field off the far turn. Joey Muscles is the winner for Jenna Antonucci. He was the only horse that had run in this race. So this is a good effort.
It was, and I think that we noticed kind of earlier in July, there weren't a lot of races to sample this, but the outside paths I felt like were a little bit better. Again, it's hard to say that when you only have a couple of dirt races a day, but still, first time out, it's Dave Fox. This is a barn that is much better second time.
Yeah, I agree, and he ran so well, and they bet him that day too, so I think that's significant as well. I used the 9. Going to pick Dominic. I don't want to get beat by Mike Yates with a first-time starter.
Yeah.
There's some pedigree here too in the works. I don't know. All I'm seeing is that July 6th work was pretty darn fast.
4 gate works in
a row.
that
rubbed. I've got that circled. That rubbed me the wrong way.
Yeah, that's interesting, right? Yeah, it's not something that you really want to see.
No. Now, with that being said, Mike's a guy that wants to pop early, so maybe that comes into the equation. But I definitely agree with what you're saying there. Late pick 4 in race number 8. It's the first of the 3-year-old stakes, on the grass. The Miss Gracies for the gals, the 3-year-old fillies here. It's a clean field of 9. We'll take a quick look at my late pick 4 rails at 66 feet. At this 1 mile distance. I've got both Barboza horses singled today on the grass in the stakes. And then I'm just throwing something at the wall in race 9 and 10. Race 9, I've got the 7 on top, Don't Answer. Race 10, I've got the 1 on top, Banneker. We're just going to take a deep breath and try to pop that field. And then I'm really looking forward to Grand Mo the First coming back. Let's get into this one here. I just kind of feel like at the end of the day, Majestic Venezuela is better than the rest of these. You're going to go with the 5. Candy Gray, I mean, my goodness, she is what a conundrum she is.
She is, but here's the thing. She's only gone 2 turns once, and that was on the Tapeta, and that was her best race to date. She was so wide as well that day. I didn't like how she kind of tripped out. Now she'll get to the grass. They wanted her on the grass in the Martha Washington. Now, I don't know what's going to happen today. Regardless of what surface it's going to be on, I'm going to come back to her. I think that she's one that's very talented, and we just haven't broken through yet.
Savvy's up in Saratoga. I got a feeling if you ask him about this horse, he'd tell you, I have no idea.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
It's right
there.
I
mean, and she's such a beautiful filly, too. She's athletic. I don't know.
Debut was awesome. Let's show you Majestic Venezuela. This is the turf race 2 back. Yes, she got set up in here, but she's really good. I like this draw from her. I just think she's a little too much racehorse for this group.
She might be, and 1 for 1 on the grass course. This was a nice race she's coming out of. If it moves to the Tapeta, this is another one that in the Martha Washington was floated out very wide. She's never been worse than 3rd in all 6 Tapeta starts of hers. If it is on the Tapeta, I'm just saying that you're off with a lot worse horses than her if it switches surface.
Safi's got the 4 Mojave Desert in here as well. Now, there's clearly give to this turf course. She's as loose as Drayden Van Dyke wants her to be. I don't know if she's going to see it out, but
she does have that speed for that rail setting at 66 feet. She was one I added in late today because I wondered about that. Maybe they just won't be able to catch her.
Very, very dangerous on the front end over a turf course. I know there's give to it, but it's going to play to speed as it always does. Race 9, 5.5 on the Tapeta, 3-year-olds and up. It's a 16-2L. Scratch the 2 Wine Empire, and we're both on the same horse. That's a little surprising. Don't answer. Oscar Gonzalez again. Blinkers off.
Finally. I mean, this has been a very frustrating horse to watch because he just will not break from the gates. Off slow, trailed inside, off slow, off slow. We pull the blinkers off today. It's amazing how people think that sometimes the blinkers will get them to be sharper when it can be the exact opposite. Right. We're going to try something new. I mean, why not? There's not going to be any excuses today for this horse. 5
straight there off, you lose kind of trips. Let's see if the blinkers off
help
signal something today. Last time for me, Dundee be a lot more be a lot ahead of our top pick, that's for sure. Early.
First time gelded, which is good.
Yeah, this is an interesting one. Colin Mirage going to take over from Safi here. A little bit of a freshening. First time gelding back on the Tapeta. A lot of speed in here. Unequivocally was so bad last time. I have no idea what you get, but
I don't either.
Yeah, you got to play against him. This is a tricky race. These are my spread races. These are spread races in the Rainbow as well. Race number 10, 5.5 again on the Tapeta, 3 and up, which have never won 2. Jose Ferrer is going to ride the 2 I'm a Peppa. And it's a good mount for Derby Glass in her first start here because Jaeger, I don't think there's any doubt Jaeger's the horse to beat.
Yeah, this is a huge drop in class. Yeah. You get the weight break here with the 10-pound bug. It's good to see Derby Glass here. She's been riding at in Texas and local Floridian back in the day. So I think this is going to be a good trip for her because there's some speed in here. It's a great post, Well,
let's show you what I think is the speed of the speed in my top pick. I want to show you Banneker's race 2 back. This was 5th beaten 4th, and you're going to say, well, big deal. That's nothing, no good there. I want to show you the race within the race now, okay? Because here's Gallipan on the outside of Banneker, pressing him. Gallipan, by the way, dead last in this race. Banneker is going to be clear, 3 lengths clear in deep stretch. And then obviously Anchor was dropped. I get that. I don't really care about that though. I'm more looking at this race from 2 to 4 furlongs when he ran so hard. He's going to hit the wall coming here in mid-stretch. I think this is a very dangerous horse, Samantha. I expect him to be on the front end. And I'm going to take a deep breath and see if you can see it out.
Yeah, that replay was also with Jack Sisterson, though.
Well, I get that.
And I don't want to talk the source right into the winner's circle, but the barn's 0 for 25 this year. So I get what you're doing.
He's got a lot of speed.
Yes, and that's going to help.
Yeah, and we'll easily draw a line through the turf route last time. That's for sure. Miracle Trip ran pretty well last time. 31-1 for Jose D'Angelo. You're not getting that today.
No, this horse is turned into this horse is going to be closing because the 2-turn races, this horse has no semblance of speed.
No, absolutely not, and that is never a good thing when you're sprinting this snappy 5 or 5.5 on the Tapeta. We'll save the best for last in the Bears Den. These are the 3-year-olds now going at it, a mile on the turf. The rails against 66 feet. Scratch bug here for some reason. El Principito the 1, Freedom Principle the 3, General Ledger the 8, and Roar Ready the 10. We actually didn't get those 2, so make sure you're on those. The 8 and the 10 are also out here. The weird thing for me, nothing changed for me.
Well, I'm just looking right now. The 8 and the 10 didn't affect me, and I didn't get those till
they were kind of oddly they weren't on the list. But we're both on Grand Mo the 1st. You talk about him, Derby, Florida Derby 3rd, Kentucky Derby. I'm talking turf, though, for him.
I remember on October 8th watching his race at Santa Anita and seeing him on the track, and I was talking to a friend of mine, and he was like, this horse is good looking, and he is. He's such a beautiful horse. He ran really well on the grass there. They got the Derby fever with him, and he deserved to be there because he'd run well. He ran really good in the Tampa Bay Derby.
Sure
has been off since then. This is one, if it's on the Tapeta too, I would feel even more confident. Who knows? It's Florida. We don't know what the weather, just speculating. But even on the grass, that was a good race he's coming out of.
I want to show you want to talk about a good effort. Let's look at Prevent now. You're going to see Freedom Principle too. He's out of this race. This is a race 2 back now in the English Channel. You want to talk about a horse that wins. Okay, this is General Ledger and Braun. Braun's in here, excuse me. Braun, here we go. Good work, guys. Thank you. Prevent is just doing everything the hard way. 45-1, he's being chased, and Freedom Principle takes advantage of it. Prevent ran huge. He's beating a length and a half here.
And the rails were out at 73 feet this day, so he was, in a really good spot. I was completely shocked at Freedom Principle this day. This was really impressive. But the fact that Prevent was able to hang on like he did was impressive. That was a really hard effort, and then he came back to get defeated by In a Jam, who's a really nice horse for Mark Casse too.
Sure is, yeah. And I don't think Prevent, gonna have to work as hard on the front end today. So there we go. There, it's a good, strong 11 race card. A couple stakes on the turf as well. Quick lightning round because we had a lot to get to today with the replays and such. Well, our old buddy XY Speed's not going to run at Saratoga because they canceled that race, but front and center up there, and the Whitney is the morning line favorite, National Treasure, the Preakness winner, and of course Pegasus World Cup winner.
Yeah, this horse we got to see front and center here. What a nice horse for all the connections. He likes Saratoga. We'll see how he likes the slop there today, because I believe that's the track conditions.
And a true 9 furlongs, and you saw him here doing it, gutting it out over Senior Buscador, but he's going to have to earn it up there today.
Yep, he will.
His Met Mile was monstrous.
Beautiful.
Though.
Yeah, this was fun though. At
Look
Pegasus.
at that crowd, Pegasus. Absolutely. There's Jimmy Barnes deputizing.
Yeah.
And
he's there again too. Yep.
Powerhouse performance in the Pegasus. Ice cream. We weren't going to do it today because of pending weather, so you get to do it next Saturday.
Can't wait. We'll have to get ice cream at Haagen-Dazs today because I was ready for that. But next Saturday, we've got local vendors that will be out in the breezeway. It'll be a fun day, so make sure to come out next Saturday.
I had people on Twitter saying, we'll be there for the ice cream next week.
Was it me?
It was not you. I know you'd be here for the ice cream. Your best bet today?
Gossiper.
Oh, Gossiper. There we go. In race 5, and mine is, it's always a mystery.
I know, it is.
Majestic Venezuela. I'm on both Barboza horses on the turf today. And your long shot?
It is the Heather Smollen runner earlier on today, Crimson.
Crimson in race 2 early on, and I am in race 5. That's right, Mikasa, 2-1 morning line favorite out of that race, so we're going to get a lot less than 8-1, but I think we're live in there on the barn switch. That's it for us, 11 of them for you. Pete's upstairs with your scratches and changes, back for the opener shortly. Best of luck today.